Hello there, Give Me a Flick Man viewers, Victor here. Today talk to you about the Hasig method. The Hasig method. These are old Hasig books. The Hasig method, you got to buy 2 books. In those days they cost about $32 each. I don't know what they cost these days. You'll have to look it up, and I'm sure they differ from city to city, so just look it up online, Amazon.com or whatever. And this is the Hasig Kanji collection of kanji cards. As you can see, it says Hasig right there. This cost me about 50 bucks. And I wanted them for a long time. These are years ago when I finally got them. Let me just show you what one looks like just to get an idea. You can see this, it's dirty because I put rubber bands on it. There's kanji on one side with an example at the bottom. So you've got to try reading it. And then you really go, what is that? And then you try to see the answer on the back, and it gives you the answer on the back with the readings and some English there, right? So that's what they look like. Honestly, the kanji cards, it's a complete set. For 50 bucks, you can probably find cheaper ones, and there's nothing special about the cards that, I guess they relate to Hasig a little bit. Maybe they use the same example words, but that's about it. Which actually I wouldn't say was a plus, If you can get cheaper ones, I would go for that, if you like kanji cards. About the Hasig method, for those of you who don't know about it, because a lot of you have been asking me about it, let me explain very quickly what this is. Hasig method is 2 books. The first book teaches you how to write the kanji by breaking down every part of the kanji into little bits. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll break down a kanji. Oh my god, this is all written with my handwriting's all in this, but they'll break down the kanji into parts. Let me show you one example, okay? They'll break down one of these kanji, like entertain there, right? And they'll talk about all the different parts that make up that kanji, and they'll tell you a little story. And hopefully that story will help you put together some memory technique for you to remember the kanji. So it's basically a cult. Okay, those of you who are into the Hasig method, a lot of people swear by it. Honestly, I think it's very inefficient because you have to, if you want to start reading soon, like immediately or really quickly put it to use, it's really, I don't think it works very well because you've got to learn to write them, and this book doesn't tell you anything about the pronunciation, which is a pain in the ass. You've got to learn that somewhere else. This book is all about the pronunciation. So what this book will go through is group the kanjis in similar groups, like see all these? These all look the same, similar, right? Not the same, of course, but they have similar parts to them, and things like radicals, and you'll figure that out later. But you can look on Wikipedia for that. This is basically what I want to say with this video regarding Hasig. It might work, but if you're going to do it, you got to go in all the way through, and don't expect quick results on reading. All right, it will work if you stick with it. I guess it did help. I will admit it helped me some. I wouldn't, honestly, if I had to do it all over, maybe I would have avoided it, I would have probably studied the pieces of the kanji bit by bit. I mean, that's good advice, but anyone will tell you that. Break down kanjis into pieces and see how they're related. And you will notice similarities, when you're studying kanji that, oh, words that have this sign often sound the same. And you'll figure that out, right? Now, the other thing I want to, well, basically there's no way. You can do whatever you want, this is my old kanji book. I bought this in 1990 at New York University. They're selling this at the university. I wasn't taking a class, but I went to the bookstore and bought this. This is what they were selling to the Japanese classes there. First one was 1959. The first book was published, right? And this was published this is the 68th printing in 1990. So you can see it's pretty. It doesn't change, It doesn't change that much over time. This has all the kanji in it, and 1,000 of them are broken down into how you write them, like this. Which is something that Hasig really doesn't do very well, I think. I like this method, and it's something a lot of Japanese get all over your ass about. Oh, you didn't write it in the right order, Whatever works for you works. What I would say is try to figure out a way that works for you and that you feel comfortable and you can learn at. If you're under 19, you should be trying to expose yourself to as much kanji as quick as possible. And if you're really serious about studying and you still haven't learned hiragana or katakana, then give up, okay? Because you're not doing it right. You've got to learn hiragana and katakana. You're never going to get it, okay? That's the truth. If you don't believe me, go ask 11 Colors to yell at you. Because you're a moron, and you're even too stupid to be on this channel if you're not willing to put in that effort eventually. Now, I'll let you pass for a little while, but eventually you got to get to hiragana and katakana, and then the kanji. If you're serious about getting fluent, you got to get the kanji. I can't... Look, this is how I feel about this, right? So listen, if you really want to learn it, don't make me hurt myself. Okay, if you're over 19, you're going to have to figure out ways to remember. it's not going to be that easy to soak things up. So what I've done, now what I've been preparing, part of what the point of this video is that I've made a series of, I've been collecting kanjis off the street for over 9 months, and it's called, it's a new series. It's going to be starting very soon. In fact, after this, I'll start it right away, tomorrow or next day. Street Kanji. It's called Street Kanji. Now, Japan Pod 101 started a series called Japan, I think, Living Kanji a few months ago, and that's very good too. It's a little bit more standard. It's good. It's good. What I'm going to try to do is try to expose you to as many kanji in context on the street as much as possible, and in context as well. Not just the street, but it's going to be called Street Kanji. And I was a little annoyed that they came out with that series because they're just faster than me. I mean, I've been preparing for months. I was like, oh, they started before I did. But that's my fault, not theirs. You should definitely be trying to expose yourself to as much kanji as possible. So if you want to study kanji that way, definitely go over there and check them out. If you don't know about them, you should. They're a very, very professional site. They are a professional site. Anyway, so what I'm doing with this video also is in showing you a failed, not a failed video, but what I'm going to show you after this, after I stop talking, is I'm just going to run my original video that I made, I think about a year ago, which was kind of a prototype to the type of kanji videos I was hoping to make, but it took so long to make that I decided to scrap it. And I wasn't doing anything new anyway. So what I am going to be offering to you that is new is the Street Kanji videos, which you will see coming up soon after this. So this is going to be called pre-Street Kanji. Okay? And the Street Kanji are not going to teach you much regarding reading or writing them. They're just going to teach you the reading and give you some information in the sidebar. All right? And I'm sure MaggieSensei.com will probably once in a while give you a little bit more information about that kanji. Basically, I'm just going to try to show you how kanji is actually shown to you in real life in Japan, not in books. Because, you know, books, especially nicely printed books like this, when you get to Japan, you'll look at your book, you'll look at the kanji, you're like, it looks nothing like that, right? And I'm going to help you take care of that problem. Okay? So that's the end of me talking, and I'm sorry this is so long, but I guess I'm in love with my voice. See you later, guys. Bye.
Goodbye. Not a good reason why. Just an hour before midnight. I can't understand why you'd run. I thought we were having fun. I just hope it turns out alright. More, I always asked you for more. But how do you keep the score? And am I getting questions right? Clear, it's never been very clear. But what I can see from here is the dark makes the stars shine bright. I remember the warm sunlight. I just hope it turns out